Now, you know, technically, I'm spoiling you all right now, even though I got my new format. But yeah, anytime I upload 3 or more videos in a 7-day period, 3 or more videos to my channel in a 7-day period, that means I'm officially spoiling y'all. Now, technically, the video I uploaded yesterday, that wasn't really my video. That was more of an endorsement from another YouTube personality. Again, Matt Mitchell, who I really appreciated giving me that endorsement. But I did do a video Sunday. I uploaded the endorsement video yesterday, and now I'm back. Excuse me. Burp no more. Here's the reason I'm coming back so quick. Because actually, I wasn't planning on doing another video until at earliest maybe Thursday, Friday, and at latest next Monday. Just in the last 24 hours, I've had 2 people, followers of mine, challenge me. They challenged me on an issue. Well, one is just a guy who follows me in my comment section. And unfortunately, I hate to say it, but I warned you guys. And this guy know who he is. So if he listening, he know who he is. I had to block him. Yep, I blocked him. He came at me wrong, I blocked him. Anybody come at me wrong in my comment section, man, you getting blocked. Make no mistake. I used to be lenient when I first got on here back in 2017 and to a lesser extent last year in 2018. But in 2019, I ain't playing, man. If you say anything insulting to me, disrespectful to me, I'm blocking you. That's not to say that you can't express disagreements. If you look at my conversation, I'll allow somebody to express what I call a philosophical disagreement. But if you say something that's insulting, that I feel is insulting and or disrespectful to me, you get blocked. Now, the other guy who issued pretty much the same, had the same theme, this is a client of mine. It's a Skype and telephone consultation client of mine. And his was more posed in the form of a question. He didn't just make a statement. He asked me more of a question. And here's the issue. I'll start with the guy who I ended up blocking. Yesterday, I had a guy, he was commenting on one of my old videos. And one of the video I did, like say in the last week or so. There's a video I did. I think it was the video. Oh, I know what it is. The video I did talking about the last video I did before I went on my sabbatical, which was, yes, women are choosing you, but for what role? That was the question I asked. Because, you know, there's a lot of dating coaches who will emphasize this concept of choosing signals. Choosing signals. And what I basically said in that video is that I'm not totally against the concept of choosing signals. Because if you read my books, particularly my book, Who Said Again, the one area where I kind of am somewhat similar to emphasizing choosing signals is in my book, Who Said Again, particularly the audiobook version, I do talk about taking time to read a woman's body language, signs, and signals of interest and versus disinterest. Her facial expressions and overall body language signs of interest versus disinterest. So some could argue that when I talk about that, that's my own version of talking about being on the lookout for choosing signals. But also the argument I made in that video, which I'll probably put in the comment section to remind you what video I'm talking about. But again, it was my last video before I went on my April sabbatical. I said, what a lot of guys who emphasize choosing signals don't point out is that which role is a woman choosing you for? Because see, I've always asserted for years that there's always going to be 4 roles a woman's going to put you in. 4 roles a woman's going to put you in. casual fuck buddy role, long-term romantic companion / future spouse role, pay for play role, which would include tricks and sugar daddies, pay for play role, and purely platonic friend role. So the question I mainly asked in that video was, which role are you being chosen for? Yeah, a woman might be choosing you, but which of those roles is she choosing you for? Because the criteria for each of those roles is different. Like what might turn a woman on in one role will totally turn a woman off in another role, and vice versa. For example, what will turn a woman off in the role of fuck buddy will turn her off in the role of platonic friend, and vice versa. You understand that? I'm not going to rehash that video. Go watch that video again. But anyway, so this follower of mine, he was commenting in that video. You won't see the comment now because I deleted this shit. He started off actually complimenting the video. He said it gave him something to think about. He said, Alan, I never looked at it. The way you present this, he said, I never looked at it this way before. He said, I never thought about that. And I got a lot of feedback from guys after watching that video. A lot of guys said, damn, I only looked at women as either being interested in you or not interested in you. I never took time to think a woman might be interested in you in role A, but not interested in you in role B, C, or D. Or she might be interested in you in role C, but not be interested in you A, B, and D. He said, so he started off, his first comment, he started off complimenting me on that video and how thorough it was. And he liked the movie clips I had at the beginning. I had a clip from The Thing, Chris Rock excerpt, and I had excerpt from this movie called Closer with Clive Owens and Julia Roberts. Anyway, so his first couple comments, he was complimentary. And this is a guy who had commented in my comment section quite often, actually. I'm not going to say his username, but he was at least a semi-regular commenter of mine. But anyway, he went on to say he started becoming kind of over-analytical. And number one, my comment section is not the place for you to start becoming over-analytical and asking me a bunch of questions. If you want to ask me a bunch of questions, that's when you purchase an email consultation, or if you got more lengthy detail, you purchase a Skype or telephone consultation. My comment section is not a place for informal consultation sessions. I pointed that out before. And sometimes I'm a little lenient, but I got to let you guys know, man, don't ask me a bunch of questions in my comment section and try to basically sneak and get a free email consultation from me. I ain't down with that shit. Real talk. I don't play that. And that's what this guy proceeded to try to do. He started off, again, just started complimenting the video, but then he went on to posing a lot of questions at me and making all these Anyway, to get to the point, he basically said, and I'm be paraphrasing his words, but essentially he said, Alan, he said, now that I understand better these 4 roles, he said, I hate to say it, but now I have a contention with your Mode 1 approach. Now I have a contention with your Mode 1 approach. He said, because let's say you meet a woman who looks at you as long-term romantic companion material. She has you in the role of the long-term romantic companion / future spouse role. But you come at her like you just want to be casual fuck buddies. That's your angle. You come at her like you want to be casual fuck buddies. He said, Alan, with all due respect, you're going to turn that woman off. You're going to turn that woman off because you're going to come across as too sexual and too thirsty. Too thirsty. He said, you're going to come across as too sexual and too thirsty. Insert dog face here. This motherfucker don't understand Mode 1. It ain't even no point in him owning my Mode 1 audiobook and whatever other books he owns of mine. If that was his conclusion, it ain't no point in him owning my book. I'm going to get lengthy in the remainder of this video, but for right now, I'm going to just briefly say it. Why the fuck you worried about what a woman wants from you? Why the fuck you worried about what a woman wants from you? Why? Why are you worried about what a woman wants from you? If you want her to eat chicken wings and she wants you to eat lasagna, you going to give in to her terms and conditions or she going to give in to yours? Which one? Which one? I'll lay out the terms and conditions for how I want to interact with a woman. I don't give a fuck what a woman wants. I don't give a fuck what a woman wants. Matter of fact, what's interesting about that, if you go back to a Blog Talk Radio episode, I was actually in a relationship with a woman. Most of y'all know who that was. She used to be semi-famous. I was in a relationship with a woman. And one time I was talking about that. I think it was one of my interviews with David X. And I talked about that. I said, when I'm talking to a woman, I don't give a fuck what she wants from me. And my own girlfriend at the time said, really, baby? Is that how you really feel? You don't give a fuck? Like to do with me, you don't give a fuck? And she thought I was going to be like, oh, baby, I was just saying that shit for the radio. No, that ain't how I really feel. I told her, I said, hell yeah, I don't give a fuck what you want from me. I don't give a fuck what you want from me. I don't give a fuck what a woman wants from me. I care about what I want from her. The type of relationship. Like, if I want short-term sexual relationship and a woman wants long-term sexual relationship, I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck. If I want non-monogamous sex and a woman wants monogamous sex, I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck. That ain't my problem. That's hers. I know what I want. I know what type of relationship I want. Similar to this, speaking of the term thirsty, I had one of my clients. He asked me that this morning. He said, Alan, let's say you're in the airport and this woman might be looking at you with an admiring stare and say she's looking at you as a guy who might be out of her league. So, but then you approach this woman, you notice her admirable stares and you go and approach her Mode 1 style. Wouldn't that kind of kill the sexual tension? Wouldn't that make her automatically say, well, damn, I thought he was a challenge, but he actually is in my league since he's now straightforwardly letting me know he want to have sex. So, damn, I ain't really that interested in him no more because he came across as thirsty. So my question to you is, when did the concept of being upfront, specific, and straightforwardly honest become synonymous with being overly eager, impatient, and sexually desperate, aka thirsty? Because that's what thirsty is. Thirsty is when you're desperate. That's when you're desperate for sex. Combination of impatient, overly eager, and desperate for a woman's sexual companionship. That's thirsty. Remember that story I told about the book signing? In my book, The Possibility of Sex? Where that woman stood up and she said, this brother right here, he knows our secret. And all the women said, what secret? What secret? And she said, y'all bitches know what secret he know. He knows our secret.